morning, ladies and gentlemen. Subha wa Nagsan, Assalamu alaikum. I did promise to learn French, but I need to apologize. I failed, but next year will be better. So allow me to speak in English today. His Excellency Abdul Bakr Kamel Mohammed, Prime Minister of the Republic of Djibouti. His Excellency Mr. Hassan Bahdun, Minister of Communication in charge of Post and Telecommunications. Mr. Mohammed Abu, Director General Djibouti Telecom, distinguished members, ladies and gentlemen. All protocols observed. Good morning. There is an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go farther, go together. The Internet Summit has a vision of an event in every country on this continent. Along that journey, our family has gathered and grown. I realize that we're exactly as old as Djibouti Telecom. For the last 14 years, we've visited different countries and picked up friends and instructors who come with us and are here with us today. That army of volunteer instructors that come every year to train and share knowledge to other special interest groups that we work with on the internet. Our growing list of sponsors. AIS is that central gathering place, the meeting of diverse minds, all working to build and sustain the internet in our region. AFRINIC, which is a child of this grouping, appreciates the need and value to build this collective internet ecosystem, and is committed to the shared vision of taking Africa Internet Summit to every country on this continent. So thank you very much, Djibouti, for helping us on getting on that road. Our being in Djibouti is not an accident, but a response to a need by one of our past participants. We encourage participants to ask and bring this home. Please allow me to thank Mr. Ismail Otoban, a past participant of one of our events, who passionately said he had to bring it home. Thank you. I know there's been a wider team that has made this happen, but there's always a beginning, and that seed was planted many years ago. It took him 3 years, but we're here. Thank you for asking us to come. I want to thank the government of Djibouti, Djibouti Telecom, and all the sponsors for its commitment to partnering with us for this event. This is a turning point in our journey, and I think the last speaker mentioned it. It is the biggest event that we've had, and it's a turning point because we're coming of age. Thank you for giving us that opportunity. It's the biggest event that we've had. This is a turning point because we're coming. I encourage the dignitaries here, the wide stakeholders that we have in here, present, to take keen interest in the development of the internet in this region. I like to say that the internet is like the weather. It will happen on us whether we like it or not. We cannot modify or control the weather, but we learn to live with it. We need to learn to live with the internet. We need to make sure that the internet does not control us, but we control the internet and we get the value out of it. We need to make sure that the internet governance, that commonly used term, is a tool set that will help us create a framework to manage this coexistence, leading us to a synergized outcome where the internet can truly be for everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, AFRINIC has a community mandate to ensure that growth and sustainability of the internet in our region. This week, as you had in Djibouti, we're here to share knowledge from our members, the community at large. We're here to listen and learn from the community on how we evolve together. We will share about IPv6 transition, the terminology that you all hear. But for you and I, let's call it the next generation internet. So IPv6 is for the techies, but the dignitaries here, Your Excellency, let's call it the next generation internet, which means the next generation internet is about adopting a new numbering system that will allow us to meet the next billion people on this continent of ours. make sure that each and every one of them has access to the internet, their devices, and all the systems that allow us to live a normal life. We will share about internet security. We will share and have been sharing for the past week on how technical people will keep the internet running so that our business function, our hospitals and schools get access to the latest research, knowledge, and to enhance our daily lives. On behalf of AFRINIC and the Africa Internet Summit ecosystem, I want to thank Djibouti for the hospitality. Ask that our visit here does not end when we leave, that the many local engineers we've engaged with last week have been trained and still have a lot to learn. Take this knowledge and give Djibouti its space on the global internet. We all want Africa's voice and values to be heard. I stress values because our values are very different and diverse on the continent. For an inclusive and credible global internet governance, our CEO, Adiel, has spent a lot of time working on the global system. I would like to appreciate his representation for the continent for the last few months, as he's told you about the change in the internet governance system. A lot has been done, yet more has to be done. We all dream of a digital Africa, a continent that is connected upon secure, inclusive and innovative, vibrant part of a global network. For us to deliver the promise of the internet, we need to collaborate because it's no longer about users, it's about the innovations, the opportunities they bring, the localization, making sure that the products that we're using on the internet are made by our people in our language, in our cultures, and they appreciate and they work with us. And there, Africa is not just skipping a generation. We're overtaking, ladies and gentlemen, and we need to take that position. We've come far over the last few years, yet we have more to do. Starting from a clean slate, a chance to build a digital Africa in everywhere, right from the start, an obligation to embrace the next generation internet, or IPv6 for the techies. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank you so much for making sure that we're here with you, but more than everything, to make sure that we have access to the vast leadership that we have in this room. I thank you for making sure that we're here, but ladies and gentlemen, please take time, understand the internet. Let's make sure that we make the internet what needs to be done, part of our nation, part of our culture. Thank you very much.
To you, the technologies of the African internet ecosystem. This community has a singular goal of ensuring that the lack of technical know-how would not further colonize Africa and cause a digital divide. That's our mission. We develop technical know-how about the internet and share it for our development through capacity building and exchange, while we coordinate our actions as technology freedom seekers. The AIS has a modest beginning when AFNOC started in Cape Town in 2000, where Africans and Friends of Africa sought to ensure that technical know-how was available on the continent. It took a decade for this annual event to reach Cairo, and we are fortunate to be here in Djibouti for our 15th anniversary event. And thanks for supporting us on this memorable occasion. Over the years, the community has trained tens of thousands of technical professionals on the continent and engaged tens of thousands of conference and meetings, people in conferences and meetings. The community has flourished, and we dare claim that we are the ones doing real technical work on the continent. We are the ones doing the real technical work on the continent. We have with us experts in numbers. We have experts in CCTLD management. We have many good people on technical capacity development here present. We have people with cybersecurity and CERT expertise in our midst. We have those who are building research networks and more, all in our midst today. That can only be the highest powered technical gathering on the continent today, here in Djibouti. While we are dealing with the technical challenges confronting the continent, we will need space, support, protection, and investment to be effective. With the growth of the internet, new issues are emerging, and Africa needs to be heard. The openness of the internet for access in standards processes and in contribution of innovation has made it possible for Africa to join and gain the economic benefits of the internet, though we came late. The recent debates on data localization threatens the openness and could constrain Africa's benefits. It is as though, after other regions have used openness to develop their economies, Africa is being told, let's shut the doors. We will open the doors. Admittedly, it is no longer possible to have all the required expertise in a single organization, and we all must necessarily reach outside of organizations in a multi-stakeholder participation to address these more complex emerging issues of the internet. It is in this light that we ask His Excellency to use his good offices to further engage African political leadership on internet technical policy. We stand by, ready to contribute the technical expertise we have created over the years in this effort to help develop a genuine African position on internet governance with your support, sir. Together, we will change the fortunes of Africa and the global internet. We commend the Republic of Djibouti for hosting AIS and sincerely thank His Excellency for his support. We especially thank our friends from Djibouti Telecom for their insistence that we host the event here. We appreciate their patience with our scheduling and are very pleased to be in Djibouti. The spirit is good. We also thank our numerous sponsors for making this happen and are very grateful to the organizers for the event. We wish everyone a successful conference. Long live the internet, long live Africa. Thank you very much.
Mesdames et messieurs, honorables invités, comme il est bien écrit.
Gentlemen, honorable guest, as it is written on the prospectus that you have, we are going to have a video conference. But since the delay of the conference, we are not going to have this video conference. And Amadou Koutouré is in conference in Bahrain. So now we are going to welcome the Ministry of Telecommunication in charge of the Post and Telecommunication, Mr. Ali Hassan Bahdan, who gave all his effort in order to contribute to the success of this summit. Ladies and gentlemen, Excellency, Mr. the Prime Minister, Mr. the President of the Parliament, dear colleagues, dear delegations, Minister delegations, co-founders of AFNAG, Mr. Afrinic Director of Badu, Chief Executive of AFNAG, Dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen from the diplomatic corps, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, representative of the private sector, ladies and gentlemen, hosting this Internet Summit is for all of us a great opportunity to share experiences, and I'm particularly honored that the Prime Minister, head of the government, has kindly agreed to ensure the opening of the summit on behalf of the President of the Republic. I'm thanking him. The honorable guest, allow me first of all, on the occasion of the Internet Summit, to welcome you and express the honor we feel to welcome you in Djibouti, a land of friendship and openness, nation of openness and tolerance, and people of friendship and peace. I'm taking this opportunity that no act, no intimidation attempts cannot be a hindrance to our efforts. I'm taking this opportunity also to thank and congratulate all those who contribute to the success of this summit, as underlined by our guest, the member of the Committee of Organizations, as well as the director of the General Director of Djibouti Telecom, Mr. Mohammed Assou Bouha, and Atban also for the SMS through Djibouti. Our sincere thanks also go to organizations concerned in the development of the Internet, such as AFRIN and AFNOG, as well as the whole of the African community of the Internet for their choice of holding this summit in Djibouti. I'm thanking them. Needless to say that the Internet nowadays plays a very central position in the development schemes of all African countries, because Internet network of all network and vector of new applications and new ways of society is in the process of generating major structural changes with potential impact on social and political life and on economic models at the national and regional levels. It is important to note that there is probably no ideal model of development of the Internet that will fit all countries, as operational issues overlap in governance concerns. But some models, however, proved more effective in promoting the growth of the Internet, and it is important to exchange experience in order to retain the best. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, Djibouti, because of its geographical position, is an important platform and a transit point of international submarine cables in the center of the Arab world and the crossroad of East and West. For the ICT sector, we have developed, in line with the vision of Djibouti 2035, a new strategic pattern of sectoral development, which will ultimately provide a better contribution of ICT to the evolution of our ICT industry, with beneficial effects on the entire national economy. This integrated sectoral development strategy map is based primarily on an oriented strategy of modern technological choices, where advanced technology enables providing the citizen with both comfort of communication services, the most advanced, as well as the means of sustainable economic development, taking into account the strategic nature of public service strategy ICT, the high technology content, the financial efficiency of their operation, and the potential impact on the economy and social model. Continued action to restructure the telecommunication sector based on gradual and mutual separation of regulatory functions from operational functions. The implementation of a policy of industrial partnership at national and international level, ensuring master of technology and making Djibouti a viable technological industrial hub in the entire sub-region. Continued training efforts in ICT to increase training rate and the establishment of a coherent policy of strategy development, education and activities. Our approach in achieving these broad guidelines lies in three main components: improving awareness of the vital interests and growth resources gathered by ICT sector, the need for an upgrade of the ICT sector structural reforming, and the implementation of a large visionary project, Digital Djibouti, to make Djibouti a reference in terms of ICT in the sub-region. In terms of the Internet, its development and growth fit perfectly in the integrated ICT strategic framework of Djibouti. Reached with 51 projects, the integrated strategic scheme of ICT sector dedicates 13 projects to internet development compared to a set of concerns centered on the following components. First, the issue of regulation and control, because we believe that excessive regulation, just like the regulation gap, are real threats to the development of the internet. The actual creation of National Agency for ICT Regulation will certainly optimize the use of internet resources, including those relating to naming and addressing, and I know that they are an important part of concern of the AFRINIC. Then, the question of the development of access and usage by ensuring that services that meet the needs of Djiboutian citizens are offered online. After that comes the stimulation of the private sector for the development of the internet. Finally, the issue of developing a favorable environment, both in terms of human resource and skills, at the level of necessary environment of threats. In general, in achieving these objectives, we make sure to respect the principle of innovation, development, defense of the public interest, and strategic directions. As you can see in our approach, there is considerable scope for work, and I can assure you that we are very much attached to that work. Ladies and gentlemen, before I conclude, I would like to say how much I am convinced that on all the issues you have to deal with during the summit, sharing your experience will open large avenues of cooperation for all our continent. Djibouti is convinced and will spare no effort in this sense. To conclude, I wish every success to the work of the summit, and I want to, and I would like also to encourage the English speaking, because my translation won't be complete.
For those who come for the first time in Djibouti, you choose the hottest season, but this is the best way to know Djibouti. I know some of you have the opportunity to go and see one of the wonderful sites of Djibouti, like Salt Lake, like Asal, and I know you appreciate. And you went there at afternoon when the time is very hot. So bravo, congratulations for you. You are very courageous. The others who, I would like to suggest to those who didn't went there to go there and to have a look on the heat of Djibouti, to appreciate the heat. And thank you very much.
Merci, Monsieur le Ministre. Et maintenant, pour clôturer.
Mr. the Minister, in order to sum up this ceremony of opening ceremony, I would like to welcome the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister, Chief of Government, Mr. Abdul Qadir Mohammed.
Mesdames et Messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, ministers, ambassadors, representatives of the diplomatic corps and consulars, ladies and gentlemen who are leaders of AFRINIC and AFNOG, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It is a great honor for Djibouti to host the works of this African Internet Summit, and it is for us a real pleasure to share with you the opening of these works. It is very pleasurable for us on this occasion and to welcome you first. and to tell you the great honor we feel of welcoming you in Djibouti, a juncture of civilizations and land of exchange and openness. Our thanks also go to all the African internet community for the choice that they have made to hold this summit in Djibouti. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we know that information technology and communication technology, especially internet, has a central position in the development scheme of all African countries, with structural transformations, very profound ones, and the impact on the social and political and economic models at the national and international and regional level. Since the creation of this summit on information in Geneva in 2003 and Tunis in 2005, internet and the governance it offers is so important that the annual forum on internet governance and the worldwide net importance that it has, these have become major events which call upon governments, private sector, civil society, or even the academia. Such events sure call upon politicians, and that's why it is important for us to come and share with you some remarks on ethics and internet development in Djibouti and at the regional level. Ladies and gentlemen, even if we all understand that the numerical distribution is very important for our economies, we say that the numeric distribution is, first of all, an economic distribution that has a political, social, economic dimension compared to the numerical approach. The electronic approach, internet approach, is a very important dynamic. The international transit of submarine cables, which is at the juncture of the West, East, and Africa and Europe. We're fully conscious of our responsibilities and of the key role played by this position. The infrastructure and use of ICT in Djibouti is very encouraging compared when we look at the evolution of the sector in the past 3 years. However, it is clear for us that our performance is not meeting our economic growth. Ladies and gentlemen, in the past few years, there has been a true understanding, awareness of the importance of ICT for the socio-economic development of Djibouti on the one part, and for the consolidation of access and the openness of ICT, which we know is so important for our economic operators. We have understood the importance of anticipating the major aspects of development, and Djibouti's position reflects a futuristic view of a social and economic model that we have chosen for our country. We have ensured that the development of information technology and communication technology development has an important space. And we have, in accordance with our 2035 vision, development of this sector that will contribute to the development of ICTs, impact on our vehicles of our principles are followed. encouraging private sector innovation, development of services, while ensuring that the state's role is clear, and encouraging fair competition, and enhancing. Ladies and gentlemen, there is of course no ideal internet development that will suit all countries, because operational and government issues interrelate. However, it has been important for the internet growth that it will be important to exchange experiences to be able to retain the best. We have been very happy to hear that the African ministers in charge of ICT have met in March and have formulated that the growth of the and regional integration is important, is possible through the development of internet and the digital development, and by reinforcing the information society and having a strong political will that will allow transformation in terms of participation, especially the adoption of an inclusive approach at the national, regional, and international level. We share this remark, and we have the willingness we want to forward it to the highest instance of nations. And before concluding, we would like to extend our thanks to AFNOG for having organized this important event in the Republic of Djibouti in the Horn of Africa, and for this opportunity of sharing experience and great communication and cooperation possibilities. We wish full success to this summit, and we tell all our participants and invitees to spend a memorable and nice time in Djibouti. Thank you.
Mesdames et messieurs,
ladies and gentlemen, we are now ending the opening ceremony of the Summit for Internet. Allow me, in the name of the committee of organizing this conference, to wish you a very good stay in Djibouti. For those who have come from Africa and elsewhere, to stay in Djibouti, have a nice stay in Djibouti, and full success for this conference. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe we can have a picture.